Krause, who's recently completed 37 years of ministry in the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, and currently he's principal at Metro East Lutheran High School here in Edwardsville, Illinois. He's a graduate of Concordia University in Nebraska. He served ministries in Mequon, Wisconsin, Austin, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, and that happens to be the Lutheran Valley High School Association there in Arizona, and Edwardsville. He holds degrees, MS and PhDs from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, and is a member of Good Shepherd Lutheran Church, Collinsville, where his wife, Christine, teaches kindergarten. Dr. Krause is on the board of directors of the Southern Illinois Lutheran Church Missouri Synod and Unity Lutheran Christian School in East St. Louis. They are blessed with 3 children. They have an attorney, a physical therapist, and a marketing specialist. So as I see it, if he makes a mistake, he's got legal representation. As he gets older, he'll have physical therapy and also someone to take care of his retirement accounts, hopefully. So he says they all live in Arizona, and most recently, he and his wife were blessed with their first grandson or grandchild, and has a son that's being engaged and here in 2020, and seems that it's ending on a high note for him and his family, and that's great. And welcome, Dr. Krause. Thank you.
Thank you, Daryl. I'm going to try to put up this PowerPoint presentation. Is somebody going to take it over from me?
You'll be able to run it once you get it up.
Okay. Good.
Yep, we're headed the right way.
Now, do I need to share this? No.
It's coming. You want to do it, see slideshow in the top middle in the red area?
Top middle.
Yep. Just
Yes,
right there.
gotcha.
And then all the way to the left from the beginning. Drop yep, there you go.
Gotcha.
Bingo, you're on.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah,
No
thanks so
problem.
much for the invite to be here with you. Just want to share a few things with you about our ministry here at Metro East Lutheran High School. We're in as you can imagine, we are in a unique year this year, and it's a fitting testimony to our theme this year, which is taken from Isaiah chapter 43, verse 2, where God continues to remind us that he is with us constantly each and every day. And this year, obviously, that's been a big to-do for us in our ministry here and in other schools, not only in the Metro East, but in the local area as well. So a little bit about Metro East Lutheran High School. We are what's considered an association school, association school of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. So what you see in front of you is, and I don't know if I'm blocking some of these. It seems like on my screen it's being blocked, but on some of these, we are owned and operated by a number of churches, Lutheran churches in the Metro East. Faith Lutheran Church in Godfrey, Zion Lutheran Church in Bethalto, St. Paul Lutheran Church in Wood River, St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Hamel, St. Peter's Lutheran Church in Prairie Town, Trinity Lutheran here in Edwardsville, St. John's Lutheran in Maryville, St. James Lutheran in Glen Carbon, St. Paul Lutheran in Troy. And then we've got a number of churches from all over the area: Zion in Litchfield, Holy Cross in Collinsville, Good Shepherd in Collinsville, Zion in Belleville, Trinity Warden, and then Unity Lutheran in East St. Louis. So all of those congregations are essentially owners, operators of our ministry here at Metro East Lutheran High School. And we've been doing school here and ministry here since really the late 70s. We're in year 40, I believe 43. And so these congregations are really the ones that support us, that provide a number of different things for us. Our board of directors is made up of members of these churches, and they certainly serve to help us as we move forward. And that's why we call it an association school, because many of these churches have schools with them, and we are an association of Lutheran churches that have a Lutheran high school that's part of their ministry. And I'll ask if there's any questions as we go through this, but just wanted to give you a little bit of a background of what our school is about, and just kind of the background of the school itself. In our ministry, like anybody, we've had a lot of board of directors. They provide leadership for our school. I'm sure there's many of them that many of you here in Rotary know personally. We have committed congregations that are in support of us. We have a direction and vision for 2020 and beyond that we are currently working under in a strategic direction. We're really looking hard at our financial models and our financial direction. So many of our private schools, the two revenue sources are our tuition revenue and third source funding, development advancement revenue. So that's a need and a focus for us. And then obviously a spiritual commitment to educate young people just about the love of Christ and his message. We have a 40-year history here, 40-year plus history of Lutheran High School. Interesting, as I was telling Daryl earlier, when I was fresh out of college, my undergraduate degree in the state of Nebraska, my first teaching job was right here at Metro East Lutheran High School back in 1984, 85, and 86. And it's a blessing for me to kind of come full circle around and come back here as principal. I've been principal now I'm in my 7th year. And I thought about going a lot of years after this, but after this year, I'm not so sure how many years I got left. But after this, it's been an interesting year, and I'd be happy to answer questions about an administrator in a pandemic, because I certainly didn't have any education training for that in school over the years. But we, like many schools, we've got challenges. We've got a number of challenges: enrollment growth and competition. As many of you know, since I've taken over here in 7 years, there's a new Catholic high school in the area. There's a new Christian high school in the area, and we all are committed to partnerships. And I talk with those administrators on a regular basis. But there's certainly challenges particularly in our private schools for enrollment and for enrollment growth. We work very closely with all of those Lutheran elementary schools, for example, in working with them and their families about looking at Metro East Lutheran High School as an option. We want to create a stable financial position in an operation. We want to be somebody who has really been blessed with good stewardship in our ministry and in some of the things that we're doing in our ministry. One of the blessings here at Metro East Lutheran is and many of you are probably familiar with our school, and it's been here for a lot of years. Metro East Lutheran is blessed with really having very, very, very minimal debt. And so this campus, our facilities, all of that, we've got a very, very small debt on this campus. And that's a blessing, especially in these times of looking at financial sustainability and challenges in the future. We also need to be really current with our curriculum and be really current with the technology needs of our high school. If there's anything that this pandemic has done, amongst many things, is put us in a position to really be creative and put us in a position to really meet the needs of the future in terms of remote learning, remote education, the opportunities that we have for technology and really technology for our students. And yet, having said that, and I maybe should have opened this at the beginning, having said that, since August 10th, we have been 100% in person, full days, full weeks, 16, 17 weeks now. We have been all in person the entire semester, and God willing, we'll finish out the semester. We've got this week left, and we've got 2 more weeks. And at the same time, it's really created opportunities for us for the future in terms of technology and remote learning to at least plan and prepare for that. We want to reconnect with alumni, particularly in the Metro East area, and then we want to continue to stay focused on our strategic plan and some of the things that we look at as we look at the future for Lutheran High School here. Now, you may have some questions. I'll add a few more things to what I'm talking about, but I've appreciated the opportunity to have this opportunity to speak to the Rotary group. We are so blessed and thankful for the scholarship that Rotary provides for a student from our school. The young people who have received it in the past have been blessed with that opportunity through the scholarship, the Larry Surrey Scholarship that is provided for our school. Also, we're a member of the Edwardsville CEO program. Hannah Allison and her crew were just out here yesterday at our high school. And I'm sure most, if not all of you, are familiar with the CEO program. It provides opportunities for young people from Father McGivney Catholic High School, Edwardsville High School, and Metro East Lutheran High School. The opportunity to really create opportunities for their entrepreneurial skills, their business initiatives, their personal skills, their professional skills. And we've been involved with that since the beginning here. As I said, Hannah and the group were out here yesterday giving the pitch for next year's junior, our current juniors, so next year's senior class. And that's been a wonderful blessing for us. And it's really, we really are interested and all about being an excellent educational facility and option here in the Metro East area, among a time that, but this year has clearly been challenging. And for those of you who have kids in school, whether that's elementary school, high school, college and university, I'm hearing stories from our college and university kids. There's just a lot of things going on that are concerns, that are challenges, and that are areas that are really a wide variety. Just to give you a little bit of an idea behind our demographics, we're a school of about 180 kids, and they come from as far north as Litchfield and as far south as into East St. Louis, Cahokia, Belleville. So we've got them from a wide range. We're currently about 52% of our students are Lutheran, and a good chunk, about half of them, are non-Lutheran, other Christian denominations, other non-denominational organizations. Many students that are maybe questioning their walk and their faith, and we have attracted over the last 3 or 4 years a pretty good number of homeschool families who have enrolled their kids in our school. So it's really a full, comprehensive opportunity for young people 9th grade through 12th grade to come and get a private Christian high school education. The pandemic has, as you can imagine, has presented some challenges. For us, there are no sports, and that's a challenge. That's a disappointment in so many ways, but we certainly understanding that as well. The fall allowed cross country and girls tennis, and I'm missing one other sport, cross country, girls tennis, and
Soccer?
golf to take place. And golf. Golf was allowed, and most of the rest were either postponed or moved to the spring or moved to the summer, and created some different seasons coming up for what we have. And so I think there's a lot of opportunities. We're blessed with a really good staff and faculty here, long-term. Many of them have been here long-term. And as we move to the future, we're pretty excited about things in the future as we move to looking at our strategic plan. We've got a board of directors meeting tonight, and we're going to talk more about our plan moving forward in the future. But it's in a challenging year. In many ways, it's been a blessing for us to look at what lies ahead and the opportunities that we have to really be continue to be a major part of the Metro East and the Edwardsville community, with educating young people and really creating opportunities for young people as we look forward to kind of the future. So I'm happy to take any questions or any, if you're interested in knowing what life is like in a school this year, I'm happy to take any questions or field any comments that you might have. I'd be happy to respond to them.
Dr. Krause, Daryl Barrett.
Yes.
You might want to go in a little bit and explain the relationship between Unity East St. Louis and Metro East.
Sure, be happy to. Unity Lutheran Christian Elementary School. It's a wonderful story, and it's a mission and outreach of the Southern Illinois District of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, which was planted. The school start was planted many, many years ago. A gentleman by the name of Paul Miller. Paul's lives up in the Prairie Town area, Staunton area. It was a mission plant of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod into East St. Louis. There was a need there. So that Christian elementary school and grew one grade at a time and continued to grow and grow and grow. And about 10 years ago now, there was a formal relationship established between Unity Lutheran Christian School in East St. Louis and Metro East Lutheran High School here in Edwardsville. I mean, we're a partner in the districts, we're a partnership already, but a formal partnership was established back then, where graduates of Unity Lutheran would have the opportunity to enroll at Metro East Lutheran High School, mainly because of their affiliation with and the partnership that we established. We would offer tuition assistance, we would offer transportation to and from the East St. Louis, and we offered continuing opportunities for academic excellence, leadership, just a whole host of things that we put into a formal agreement. And so our board of directors, the Unity Board of Directors, created this partnership and this agreement, which has today yielded dozens and dozens of students from Unity who graduated there, gave them an opportunity for something that's an alternative to what they would have been enrolled in, and gave them the opportunity to really continue their Christian education at Metro East Lutheran High School. About 4 years ago, the first students into that partnership graduated from our high school. Many are in colleges and universities now, and that partnership continues to this day. So we have a bus there on the Unity property, and we transport students round trip here and there. Students are involved in a full private Christian high school experience, just like they involve themselves in Unity. And the program continues today. We wrote grants for some of the partnership that we found. A big partnership developed between the Unity Lutheran, Metro East Lutheran, and the St. Louis Lutheran Foundation. And that partnership has continued. I just had a long Zoom meeting with them in recent weeks, and that partnership looked like it's going to continue, because we're both mutually benefiting from the opportunity that we have young people to bring our campus more diverse, and young people to bring our campus more of an opportunity for leadership, for athletic competition, for academic competition, and all those have been a blessing. So it's one of our very unique programs here, and we're proud to be a part of it, and we're proud to continue that partnership. So thanks, Daryl, for the question. Other questions or anything that anybody would like to ask, I'd be happy to respond to you.
Dr. Krause.
Krause,
Go ahead, John.
yeah, this is John Gibbons. I just wondered, you said that your school has been open this semester for face-to-face learning for your students. And I wondered if you're having any problems with students that can't come to the school because they have to be quarantined.
You know, when our semester started and we're all staring at this, what's going to lie ahead for us, I had consistently reminded our faculty, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when something's going to take place. And certainly we have had we have had one case here on our campus, but because of different family impacts within the virus, certainly kids have had to be quarantined, mostly because of some cases within their own family, or as the Madison County Health Department would consider somebody was a close contact of somebody within their family. So there's no question there's challenges. Today, for example, there's, I believe, 31 kids on our absent list, but that's really divided up into two things. Those who are actually absent, have some kind of an illness, and those who are maybe not going to be here because out of an abundance of caution because of something like that. But I will say we've had very little incident in that regard, and have continued to do the kinds of things that we need to do to in our opinion, feel healthy, feel safe. I think our biggest challenge here, and I've heard from my colleagues in both the public and the private schools, our biggest challenge here would be if a number of faculty, and it sounds like an athletic program, but if a number of faculty go down, that could be a big problem for us, because that creates another level. And as you might imagine, there aren't people jumping out of the woodwork to be subs at schools this year. I can assure you there that there's not a lot of people looking for substitute positions in schools these days, with the kind of challenges that faces as well. Other questions or comments?
Dr. Krause, Gina has a third grader son, Sam, that's pretty smart. She's wondering if he can test up and how early he can get into Metro East Lutheran.
That's, you know, it's interesting. I will say this, given all the things going on, there's probably, and I get the challenges that whether it's a public school district or private school, or one of the things that the state of Illinois has said, the Illinois State Board of Education has said, you know, they're pretty much leaving decisions up to the respective districts. Private schools are their own district. So we've had conversations at the board level, we've had conversations and challenges and discussions all over the place. But one of the things that we've seen here is there's probably not 2 days that go by that we don't continue to get calls from families who say, we want to enroll our son or daughter at your school, partly or mostly because we're in person. I think one of the biggest challenges that we face in the future is the ability to make sure we're staying current particularly in math and science. And I think those are some of the big challenges that school districts are facing as they move forward. But we continue to see an uptick in our enrollment, even though the challenges are there. And I would guess that maybe by the second semester, we'll see another uptick of anywhere from 8 to 12 students. So it's been an interesting year, but at the same time, God's blessed us or continue to bless us as we move forward. Any other questions I can answer?
Me, Gina.
Please.
A real one this time. Are you facing any scrutiny from the public, or there's so many people that have so many opinions as we hear on the school board Zoom meetings? Are you facing any problems or scrutiny from the parents or public for being open, which by the way, kudos to you for staying open?
Sure. Not the public per se. We don't, it's not that we have I don't get phone calls here at my office. How dare you guys are open or anything like that. So not necessarily from the public scrutiny. I mean, our parents are certainly in communication with us on a regular basis about any concerns, any questions, anything like that. But I will say that for the most part, it has been a really, really positive year from our parents' perspective. I happen to be one that I think you can't, in a situation like this, I don't think you can over communicate. So I'm communicating on a regular basis from school. But things have changed in that regard too. Also, we go from 8 o'clock to 3:15. We encourage our families, drop your kids off as close to 8 o'clock as you possibly can. In other words, we don't want any downtime. We don't want any gathering. We don't want things like that to take place. And then when school's over at the end of the day at 3:15, please pick your son or daughter up as quickly as possible. So I think we put in some situations where people are feeling comfortable about it, yet at the same time cautious. There's no question about it. So I appreciate your question very much. I think I think one example came about I think it was the second week of school. One of our students who was getting here in the morning came in and came right to me and said, Dr. Krause, some lady yelled at me in the parking lot because she pulled off of Center Grove Road and said, why are you guys in school? How dare you do this? And first of all, they shouldn't be communicating to a student about that in our parking lot. Second of all, that communication should come through the administration. And I haven't seen a whole lot of that. And that was one very obviously isolated incident. And yet at the same time, I believe that we're in close communication with our parents, and that's been a real positive for us. But there's certainly concerns. And as we move forward, particularly in the spikes that we're seeing right now, we've done okay this week. Our numbers post-Thanksgiving in terms of absences have been better than pre-Thanksgiving. But we'll see what next week is like, and we'll see what the following week is like. But I appreciate the question, and it is a constant reminder to me that we've got to be communicating so that maybe people understand what we're trying to do and how we're trying to create this opportunity for our students.
Dr. Krause, on behalf of the Edwardsville Rotary, I want to thank you for your program today. It's been enlightening and in so many ways. Certainly it's challenging times, and you guys have been there for a long time, and we love your students in the CEO program as well. So members,
well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the support Rotary gives to us with the scholarships and the community involvement. It's a blessing to see. So I thank you very much. I thank you for the opportunity to be with you today.
Well, thank you, and members would a big round of applause for Dr. Krause, please. Okay.